While I was in the shower, he had a complete anxiety attack about having to walk to McDonald's, and my wife said he was hysterical for at least 5 minutes, like a full-blown, inconsolable panic attack. Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Tony and welcome to Yo Said That, where we narrate and react to the best stories and content around the net. If that sounds appealing to you, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss out. Let's get right into the first story. Today I fudged up by trusting a stranger and letting him change my tire for me. Today I fudged up that actually happened about 2 weeks ago. I needed to run into Walmart really quick on a Saturday. It's always busy on weekends, so I parked pretty far away and decided to walk instead of trying to find a close parking spot. I'm a female in my 20s. I was by myself. I ran in, grabbed what I needed, and was out within about 20 minutes. When I walked out to my car, I got in and a male in his mid-30s knocked on my window and let me know that my tire was flat. I got the creeps because I've heard plenty of horror stories of weird ways guys lure women out and grab them, but I wanted to check. I keep mace on my car keys, so I made it obvious I was holding my mace as I did. Sure enough, my rear passenger tire was completely flat to the rim. He offered to help me change it. I said it was okay, that I will call AAA, but he offered again, and he seemed nice enough, so I accepted and said thank you. As he was changing my tire, he told me he saw me in Walmart, and then asked me a lot of questions like how old I was, and if I had plans, a boyfriend, and so on. I deflected most of them, but I did tell him I had a boyfriend, and that my friends were expecting me. I noticed he had a gas can towards the front of what I assumed was his car. I asked if he ran out of gas and he said yes, but he forgot his wallet at home. Now, looking back, I'm wondering why he'd be in a Walmart without a wallet. It seemed like he was fishing for me to offer to give him a ride, which of course I would never do. But I did give him a little money towards gas, and he insisted on trying to get me my information so we could meet up and he could pay me back. I said no thank you, a good deed for a good deed, and I left it at that. As soon as my tire was done, I got in the car and left. When the tire shop opened during the week, I went to get my tire fixed thinking it was simply a flat, but it turns out there were 3 intentional stab marks in the sidewall of my tire. I'm pretty sure this was not a coincidence, and I think having my mace, keeping my distance, and saying people were expecting me saved me from something very terrible. I normally avoid Walmart at night, but this is broad daylight. Holy crap, that was creepy even just reading. It's great that this woman was alert and took the necessary precautions to ensure her safety. One thing I would add though is let your presence be known. Contact your friends, your family, whoever it is, and let them know who you're with and where you're at. That could be a big help. One comment said, file a police report. All Walmarts have cameras. The police can try to review the footage and confirm if he stabbed your tire. And if so, hopefully get a plate number of his vehicle. And another comment said, if you have roadside assistance, use it. If you're paying for it, you might as well get your money's worth. Personally, if I see someone whose car is broken down, I'll offer to help, but if someone refuses to help, I'm out of there. If someone is persistent, you should see them as a threat because something is up. In the future, the best thing you can do is ask him to leave, and if he does anything that seems out of character, you fudging scream and attract as much attention as possible. You're never overreacting because getting that attention and putting him on the spot may very well save your life. Today I fudged up by ruining my boyfriend's company-wide meeting. This actually happened a few hours ago and I'm writing this outside out of fear of going back into the apartment. The iconic and viral clip of a mother storming in on her children and asking which one of them didn't flush after using the toilet has been a cornerstone of me and my boyfriend's relationship. Today, my boyfriend took the largest poop I've ever seen, and I mean largest. It wasn't even broken into pieces, one long, continuous poop. And while he might have tried to flush it, it did not work, and it ended up greeting me in the face when I too needed to take an incredibly large poop. Out of pure humor, I barged straight into my boyfriend's work from home office and in my best and loudest Scottish accent said, "Did you take a poop and not flush?" Disgusting! The intention was to laugh with my boyfriend and for him to come and see how it didn't flush correctly. Instead, his face went completely white and jaw dropped. He was on a video call with not only his boss, but his entire team. We normally have a little sign to put on the door when we are on video calls, but just like how maybe he forgot to flush, he forgot to let me know he was having a company-wide meeting where he was presenting. Your guys' relationship could have been saved if you had a poop knife. The poop knife has kept families together for decades. And for those of you who don't know what a poop knife is, you're in for for a treat because a video will be out within the next week about the legend of the poop knife. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. One comment said, well, he needs to learn to take care of his poop on one form or another. Then this wouldn't happen. If he has really learned his lesson, he will buy a poop knife and remember his sign. Another comment said, he left you a present. Can you just be grateful? Dude, I fudged up by not knowing what an onion was. Obligatory, this didn't happen today. It was about 10 years ago when I was 19. So I had a friend that was a pretty shady guy, but a good friend nonetheless. We'd known each other all through high school. We sort of went our separate ways after graduation, but would occasionally call just to check in or go to a party together. So one day he calls me out of the blue and he says, hey man, I'm in a tight spot. Do you have an onion I can buy real quick? I look in the fridge and say, yeah, I've got 4. How many do you need? He says, dang bro, I didn't know you had it like that. I need 1 for now, but might need more later. How much you gonna charge me? I tell him just give me $1 and he gets super excited like, heck yeah man, you've always been a good friend bro. He says he'll be there in 30 minutes and we hang up. Of course, I'm thinking why the fudge is he so excited about a fudging onion? Whatever, maybe he's making meatloaf and forgot to buy onions. So he pulls up 30 minutes later and I go outside with the onion in my hand, feeling pretty good about helping my friend out. He flips the fudge out like, what the fudge is this? Are you trying to rip me off? Are you a fudging fed? I'm standing there confused as fudge. Bro, you said you wanted a dang onion, what's the problem? At this point I think he realized what was happening and says, fudge you bro, you're wasting my time, and he speeds off. Still in a state of shock, I go in the house thinking maybe you wanted a different type of onion than the one I had. I call my dad and explain the weirdness of what just happened. He laughs for a good 10 minutes straight. Turns out, an onion is a unit of measurement for cocaine, and $1 in that context means $100, which is way below the market value. Who knew? Never talked to or heard from again. He's in prison now. Anyway, there must be something about my demeanor that screams drug dealer, because all throughout my adult life, people have just assumed I had drugs for sale, especially at parties, but sometimes just randomly on the street. It's weird as fudge, but I've just gotten used to it at this point. I remember some really old guy when I was 11 or 12 years old telling me I'd make a good drug dealer. Something about his seriousness and tone made it seem like a prophecy, and it stuck with me. Yo said that. I heard the same guy was asked if he wanted to blaze trees, and he said, we have enough wildfires on the West Coast. Anyways, with that being said, I wouldn't have known what an onion was either and would have been like, you want sweet onions? Chives? Red onions? One comment says, thank you for educating me. I would have done the same thing as you, lol. The guy responds to him, why are you offering me money for an onion? You can just have it. I always seem to waste most of them anyway. And then another comment said, Lamau, I too didn't know the word onion was used like that. The guy responds to him, onion to me and my high school friends meant ounce back in the late 90s, but we only dabbled in weed. I didn't get into cocaine until I became an adult with responsibilities. Today I fudged up by telling my 7-year-old he had to walk to McDonald's with his 4-year-old sister to get his mom and I breakfast. Let me preface this by saying this was an innocent joke and I would never make my kids walk to McDonald's to get me breakfast. I'd let them take the car. Actual preface. This was a joke. We are a joking family. Backstory. Our kids woke up super early, so we made them breakfast, turned on the TV, and went back to bed for a quick sleep in. Present story. Once they were bored with the TV, they came into our bed for cuddles and basic crap talking, as kids do. Oh my gosh, can they crap talk. After a few minutes, I asked if everyone wanted McDonald's and everyone agreed. I told my 7-year-old that he would have to walk to the store. It's roughly 500 meters away, but you have to cross a busy road to get there, with his 4-year-old sister to get breakfast for everyone. While he was suspicious of this joke request, he kept asking, Dad, do I really have to do that? And I would reply, yes mate, we're both tired, could you get us breakfast please? This went on for a few minutes, then I laughed and said, don't worry mate, I'll get it, then went and had a shower. While I was in the shower, he had a complete anxiety attack about having to walk to McDonald's, and my wife said he was hysterical for at least 5 minutes, like a full-blown, inconsolable panic attack. He actually thought I wanted him and his sister to walk to McDonald's to get breakfast. He's such a sweet kid. That 7-year-old kid would have gotten a second panic attack once he finished walking to the McDonald's, placed his order, and realized things actually cost money to buy. It's fun to joke around, but man, young kids are too gullible. Buy him a McFlurry if the machine isn't broken. One guy commented, I once wanted a 7-year-old to stay busy, but worded it as, I don't want to see you for 1 hour. Needless to say, they literally hid from me. Guy responds to him, he did stay busy. Busy hiding. The guy responded, get busy living or get busy hiding. Another guy commented, my dad did something similar to me. I think I was 5. He owned a store and was changing the window display. I was getting in the way, so he jokingly put a price tag on me and sat me in the window. It was all fun until a lady came in and joked that she would buy me. That's when I went running to mom in tears because dad was going to sell me. It's been a family joke ever since. The poor lady must have felt awful. And then OP responds, as bad as it sounds, that's such a cool memory to have. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to annihilate that like button. Comment if you can relate to any of these stories. And if you haven't subscribed already, you'll gain like 10 inches in height. So just do it already.